Hey guys, Professor Bell, Comic Book University, and X-Men, issue number 11. This is an Empire tie-in issue. I believe this is going to be the only one, because after this, everything's just going to be a ten of swords. So, it's not going to hurt that they threw in a tie-in really quick. It's just weird since they had 4 ancillary issues, but whatever, man. That was his own story, and at least we got to see some characters that we don't usually see too often. In this particular case, we get to see characters that we see all the time. But we also do just slightly further the Summoner story a little bit. We also get the beginnings of a new language. Damn it, I don't want to do that again. Let's get to what made this comic book, and we'll break into all the craziness that happened in this comic book. So we have got Jonathan Hickman on writing, Leinil Francis Yu on art, Sunny Rowe doing the color art, VC's Clayton Cowles doing the letters. The design is by Tom Mueller. Cover art by Leinil Francis Yu and Sunny Rowe, and the variant cover by Adam Kubert and Marty Gracia. Production is Nick Russell. Hickman is still head of X. This issue is called One War, One Mutant. Stanley Checker, we created the X-Men. So we get white pages in this right away. And this is a report to the Quiet Council from the Captain Commander. That is, of course, Cyclops. And he's talking about the idea that we need to be ready for a war. Yeah, we get a war in this issue, right? The Kotati are coming. So this is a ready report that had already been in existence for a little while now, and hopefully they were doing more than they were at least mulling it over. They were at least thinking it over. What should we do about this? I don't know. Perhaps we should blow up Mars. Anyway, I know I flipped that around, but still. So they're talking about readiness to protect the island, a response team, not just X-Force. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need an actual full-fledged response team. Krakoa is supposed to be something that, hey, we're cool, we can all just hang out one up, but not everybody can hang out. If you've got a party, if you're at a club, somebody's got to be watching the door. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the way that it works. If you're out partying and everybody's drinking, you got to have a designated driver, because you don't want that many drunks on a bus. I'm saying, they don't usually pull right up to your house. So there's always got to be somebody or something that is watching over you, right? And in this case, it's mostly Magneto. Now I'm digging on this because, with all due respect, I know there's going to be people who are bigger fans of Magneto than I am. They'll be like, Magneto's so much more than just a fighting machine. But no, Magneto really is just this unstoppable machine that's just coming at you. And it's really hard to hit him. It's really hard to actually get through his shield, and he's flying, so you might not even be able to reach him. You know what I'm saying? But he can reach you. And one of my favorite things is when mutants are using their powers with each other. Of course, the first time that we really get to see this is the Fastball Special. I mean, yeah, we've got Angel tossing Beast and stuff like this every so often, but for the most part, no. When you actually get the Fastball Special, boom. So now we get a deal with Magma and Iceman and Magneto. A little help from some cuckoos. I'm saying. By the way, the interaction with the cuckoos was exactly what we needed to have a little bit of levity in this otherwise, holy crap, there's a lot of fighting in here. When Magneto says, "Whatever will I do with broken, sharp pieces of metal?" If your heart doesn't swell with, holy crap, he's going to kill everybody, then I think that you're missing the point of comic books. Because this was such a great moment. This is this is one of those lines that, I personally am going to be remembering and using every so often. I want to roll up a magnetic-based character just so I can, boom, broken sharp metal pieces. That was freaking cool. That was cool. Now, we do get some stuff with Summoner in the beginning, and he gives us 4 letters of the Arkan language. What the hell is that damn language called again? The Iraqi. The Iraqi. So we get 4. I'm just show it to you again really quick. It's probably in the previews, but yeah, boom, that. So it's the Iraqi language, Iraqian. Bruh, I ain't trying to learn a whole new language again. Trying to decipher the stuff and it's really just letters in our phonetics. But I don't think Hickman wants to devote any more time into doing that, and I don't want to learn it. But whatever. This word is test. So you got 4 words, 3 letters right there. You got 3 letters. Boom, and you should be good. And not really, because now that I look at it, I'm actually looking at it now. It can't really be test. They said it was a bad translation, but test is like the closer you get to it. But the first and last letters are not the same. So, yeah, I don't know what they're doing here. Anyway, maybe it is the first word, trial, but the AL is the, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Like I said, I'm not trying to learn a new freaking cipher here. I did the first one. I ain't trying to do the second one. So anyway, he started a game with Rockslide. Rockslide or Landslide. I always mess up his freaking name. It's Rockslide. And you're not allowed to finish the game you're not allowed to quit the game until you finish the game. So he's young and he's dumb, and Summoner goes and tells him, hey man, I've missed many a meals. And he's just like, well, I'm good with missing meals, so let's go. You don't know how often this dude's eating. You don't know what many translates to, because the average human could go like 3 weeks without eating. You know what I'm saying? Before he starts to like actually die. So I'm saying, no, don't do that. Don't be so gullible like that. But he does, and it's not smart. So Hickman will sometimes put something into a story and just start telling another story, and then later on you got to reference back to that. So at some point when I'm like, when did Rockslide start playing this game? Refer me back to issue number 11 of X-Men, because bang, that's where it actually happened. There was a very interesting part in here which I actually enjoyed a lot. Besides the idea they're making Exodus, of all people, he's making a cult for Magneto? That doesn't sound anything like Exodus. Sarcasm. Sometimes you gotta tell people that's sarcasm. They really don't get it. But I like that Magneto put on his red costume again to go to war. That was cool. I'm hoping that Hickman's actually going to give us a reason why he would wear each of the armors, because he had all 3 of the armors there. The red, then the white, then the black. And while he was meditating, it's like, this is actually really cool. I'm all for this, man. Wow. It's funny that they're also the same colors of the Marauders, the trading company. You know what I'm saying? You got the black king queen, the white king queen, and the red king queen. They could be either one, depends on who's there. There's just 2 queens and 1 king right now. So I wonder if that's actually going to play into it, because with Hickman, you never know. He might just pick up something like, I'm going to throw this in there and it's going to be cool and everybody's going to love it. And yeah, we usually will. Just lap it right up. Yummy, yummy. Let me give it some more. All in all, this was a fun comic book. I'm going to throw in something really quick, just for the sake of conversation. The humor that comes at the end of this with Magneto being told, yeah, so you want to pay for the weather satellites and apologize to, I think it was Emma, for certain, or Sage, for certain satellites that are being broken, for the one guy that you killed. What about, you didn't mention anything about the military satellites you use. It's like the ones that we're not supposed to know about. Here's a funny thing. There really are military satellites that we're not supposed to know about. But if you're an engineer and you work in GPS, you know about them. I remember several times I had 2 people working under me as I was the test engineer. And so I had 2 technicians working under me. And this one guy used to constantly accidentally lock onto one of the 2 military satellites. Because if I remember correctly, this was a long time ago. There's back in the year 2000 to 2002. I think there were 11 satellites that we could actually use, and then 2 for them. Maybe it was 9 for us, and whatever it was. And of course, they were, they're supposed to be geosynchronous, but, you're going to get different satellites once in a while. He would lock onto that every so often by accident, not remembering. Oh no, satellite number, I think it was number 2 and 10 were the military ones, and we're not supposed to use those ones. Not supposed to talk about those ones, right? It's 20 years ago. I think we're fine by now. So he's always like, dude, is the government going to come and get me? I was like, I just got a call. If you do it one more time, they are. nobody ever came. But it's the idea that, yes, there are military satellites out there that we're not supposed to know about. Now I'm going to give the one complaint about this comic book, and it is, of course, about the Empire, because as a traditional martial artist and someone who a lot of the peace that I've ever had in my life has come from meditation, and not having that opportunity to meditate really does put me very much out of sync. I've always loved the idea of the Katati. And the part where this Katati dude that was killed by multiple satellites, it was a freaking epic moment. He goes and he mentions, I've fought, and killed, how many people I've fought and killed just like you on different planets. I'm going to do blah, 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 blah. I fought here and I fought there, and all these different places that he's killed. Maybe he was just talking crap, but it doesn't seem like he was talking crap. And it's like, dude, the Kotati are the epitome of peace in the Marvel Universe. They're the ultimate Buddhist-like monks, Jainist-like monks, Tibetan Buddhist-like monks that you could possibly ever come across. But some of them were warriors and murdering people. I hate when they take established storylines and they don't know what to do with it, so they switch it up. And I know a lot of people are accepting of it, but I'm not. I'm simply not. So, no. That really sunk a fairly sizable portion of this book for me, that they're just going along with it. Honestly, I expected better from Hickman. I expected Hickman to look at this and say, I'm not going to type of this. If I got to do something for Empire, fine, I'll do something for Empire. But for the most part, I'm not going to do anything stupid. I don't think that Hickman is stupid, but I think that this particular idea was not the brightest of all. I just hate what they're doing with the Katati. Anyway, guys, I've said my piece. Go ahead, like the video, watch an ad. I'll talk to you guys later. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.